I'd like to talk to you about something that the Onewheel community calls ghosting. What is ghosting?
I'd like to pause the video and take a moment to re-explain my original statement of what is ghosting. Ghosting is very much as it sounds. It is when your board takes off on its own as if a ghost were riding it. Now, no worries, this is not a common occurrence. There are two major reasons for it. The first is the least common, which is a malfunction with the sensor itself, which in that case you will need to buy a new one from the Future Motion Onewheel website. The more common occurrence is when a new grip is reinstalled improperly, possibly a bubble under the adhesive, or like me in this video, playing around with grips that have not been tested. When using experimental grips, you may prevent the sensor from detecting you as a rider.
This diamond rubber grip that I put on here is called Treadmaster. It's usually sold in boat stores and used for boats. It's a mixture of PVC and nitrile. And when I had only a layer of it, I don't recall having any ghosting problems. But I decided to experiment with it further, and I lifted it up using the adhesive on here a second time, if not a third time, and I wanted to try adding a concave to my front foot pad. And to add a concave, I went to the store and I bought some outdoor double-sided sticky foam tape, and I layered it up along the perimeter of the front foot pad. And so you can see the layers here, how I've built it up. And though it worked really good for building a concave, but I started having some ghosting problems. One time I jumped off my board in kind of emergency. I lost my balance and the board took off down the hill without me. It hit a bump and it jumped. And luckily, you know, it still works because it went flying pretty fast and pretty high. Unfortunately, I don't have that on video. So, a major warning to those of you who are tinkerers and DIY and want to experiment with other materials for your front foot pad. You need to do so at your own risk and at the risk of your board, because ghosting is no joke. So there's something called FishBones, and that is currently really the only product at this time that allows for a concave to be made on your front board easily and will have no effect on your front sensor. They haven't been out very long. The testing that they've put on them, they have not been able to reproduce any problems with the sensor. So currently that is your best and easiest remedy and fix for being able to have a concave on your front pad. I'm gonna see if I can actually recreate the ghosting for you on camera. There it was, just a little bit. Except when it happened to me the first time really bad, it was a lot faster, a steeper hill, and then it hit a curb and launched like a rocket. Well, I couldn't get it to recreate a ghosting effect to any significant degree. So even if you're playing around with other grips and you're testing the sensor and you can't seem to get it to create a false sensor detection, a ghosting effect, it may still happen. It may be a rare occurrence, and when that occurrence happens, it might be on a big hill, and that hill might have a cliff, it might have a river, it might have a curb that launches your board into the air, and you might lose your board. The electrical components might be permanently damaged. Just think about it. Just think about it before you mess with your front foot pad. If you do decide to experiment with some other grips for your front pad, and you turn on your Onewheel and it gives you a give me some space error and won't turn on completely, that is a perfect sign that what you've done to your front foot pad is not acceptable. If you want to really test something out, you're dying to test out a certain material, do so on the back foot pad alone first. And if you truly like the feel of the grip, then maybe consider the front foot pad with some extreme caution and respect. Well, I gotta get going home. Gotta take care of my 6 kids, and I gotta take care of my 7th kid, my Onewheel. See you next time. Please subscribe.